The cons of gay marriage. We know that marriage is a religious practice and that it's been about religion for much longer than it's been about any of the legal and financial benefits that it's about today. The ceremony has always been about a union between two before God. Traditionally, those two were man and wife. The Bible expresses certain rights, and religious people deserve to have those rights respected. They allowed two people to marry before God with all the contracts and bureaucracy involved, and then legally allowed them to separate, something that is against God's will, unless it's death that separates them. Which makes me wonder about how people get divorced before God's eyes, and why people don't have divorce ceremonies. Surely you would still respect your God even after doing something that He disapproved of? There are countries and states that are still deciding whether or not to legalize same-sex marriage, and it is their prerogative to decide, as a state or a nation, to rule in favor of or against same-sex marriage. But in those countries and states, heterosexuals are able to divorce each other at the first sign of trouble in their marriage, being able to cite irreconcilable differences. Happily finding a new love to marry, to try again for a second or even third time, while others aren't even allowed to truly commit themselves with full legal benefits to someone who happens to be of the same gender. Why shouldn't homosexuals truly be able to commit themselves to each other, not immediate family or animals, the way God intended, when heterosexuals so freely disregard the sanctity of marriage? Let's rather all disregard it or regard it. Marriage should be a lifelong commitment, and those who support things like DOMA, Russia's anti-gay propaganda laws, or even some of Africa's most bigoted leaders would agree. What could those leaders even say are the cons of gay marriage? 1. Humans are marrying humans. We, as human beings, should surely be able to spend the rest of our lives with another human being. We should be able to love and marry that person for a lifelong commitment. Given it shouldn't be a direct relative, do cousins count? An animal or an object? I don't think that Peruvian actor was serious when he married a tree. 2. The paperwork. Simply, legal departments and home affairs buildings are going to have a lot more work to do, and more business. They'll need to authorize more marriage documents and more files for divorce. Business benefits the nation. Jobs are kept and created. People remain employed and functioning in society while still being able to create jobs, further employing others and enabling them to contribute to the nation's development. 3. More adoption. Husbands and wives with their husbands and wives won't be able to conceive children on their own and are going to adopt babies and children who have lost their families from things like natural disasters and disease. Fewer children will be born, probably what leaders like Museveni, Mugabe, Putin and the Pope believe is going to eradicate the human race. Organizations and facilities will have more resources to dedicate to the countless others who actually need it. How many people on the planet? We need fewer people on the planet. Conservative ministers in the UK think that gay marriage will lead to siblings and relatives marrying one another. Maybe conservatives need an addendum for peace of mind. No matter where we are in the world, we should have the option of marrying whomever we choose. When it comes to listing the pros and cons of an issue, those pros and cons are likely to be subjective because of how many differing cultural beliefs exist. A reason why it's important to vote on controversial subjects. If you cast your vote and you win, that's great. If you don't win, that sucks and you have to find a way to deal with it, hopefully with as much human compassion as possible. These issues are what they are because of our differences. This is life, and things like this will continue. And one other thing,